Yes, it is tax day. And for me, it kind of harkens back to my orientation session that I went through as a freshman legislator about 4 years ago. And we went through this legislative leadership program that went through all the major issues that were facing us as a legislature, that would be facing us as a legislature. And I'm pleased to say I met a lot of good friends during that program. But one of the constant themes of that program was that every issue that we were facing demanded some sort of a tax increase to go off and fix it. And, here we are. Anybody who's filled out their tax forms hopefully has an appreciation of this, is that we're paying a lot in our taxes right now. And there's very little motivation to go off and look at the other side of the ledger and look at how do you reduce and rein in expenses. That's what happens out in the private sector. That's what happens out in our homes. We actually go off and look at ways to go off and streamline our expenses. Sometimes when I first switched over here and worked in the legislature, my wife and I had to get rid of cable TV to go off and meet the expenses every single day. We were in debt from our campaign run. Sometimes you have to make those tough choices, and I just want to express an appreciation, especially in context of the upcoming election that we have. There's people that are already talking about that if this ballot proposal goes down, that the only way to go off and fix our roads is to increase taxes. I'm here to say that there are many ways to go off and fix them that don't involve raising our taxes 1 percentage point. And it's about time that we had an adult conversation about the expense side of the ledger and not simply focus all the discussions on the revenue side. That's all we seem to talk about. So please join me, colleagues, and let's start looking at the other side of the ledger. I know there's a lot more line items over there than there is on the revenue. It's a lot easier to get your arms around the revenue side, but it's important for our people that we stop pinching their pockets and actually start pinching the government's pockets and try to find more effective ways of using the money that we already put into the system.